We're at Comic-Con too. That joke's not going to get old for me. The novelty hasn't worn off.
Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
What up, heads? You know what it is. You know what it does. My name is Chuck Reeves, the sometimes East Coast Beast host. Sometimes I put videos out in this motherfucker. Today, joined by my friend Ryan, sitting to my right, your left, depending on what way you got your fucking phone turned. A lot happened this past weekend in San Diego as part of San Diego Comic-Con 2019 festivities. A lot happened, bro.
No, it didn't.
A lot happened.
What are you talking about?
And we're going to talk about some
What are you
of it.
talking about?
We're going to talk about it.
Well,
We got
what's
this.
this?
We got this Marvel thing. We're gonna watch this Marvel highlights video from their Hall H panel, hosted by Marvel Studios head producer extraordinaire storyteller Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige.
Senpai.
Figgy pudding.
Senpai.
Figgy pudding.
Yes.
That's a.
Do like a bit of figgy
That's
pudding.
a British joke.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I am from the homeland.
So we're gonna watch this.
Greetings, colonials.
We're gonna watch this and we're gonna talk about it, and maybe I'll pause it at times, and maybe we'll just fucking do it. But like I thought that was the chick from G4 for a second, but I realized that is not. You know who I'm talking about? Miss Cyclock from X-Men.
Oh yeah.
What's
yeah,
her
I
name?
can see it.
What's her name?
Psylocke.
Yeah, no, but what was the actress's name?
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, all right.
That's
I thought
the
that
one.
was Olivia Munn.
That's the one.
It's
Olivia
not.
Munn.
No, it's not. No. So let's see what's going. We're there, by the way.
Man,
if you can't tell, we are there in the festivities with the ability to pause time, which is exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we
So,
stole the time stone.
I'm gonna play this shit.
We're gonna use it to comment on Comic-Con stuff.
Let's see. Hopefully the audio turns out all right. I've got the background audio turned down just a pubic hair, just to avoid all them fucking copyright restrictions that YouTube loves to throw my way. Any video I show as part of this presentation, the link will be down there in the description.
Right down there.
Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing to the Chuck Reeves Beast Host channel, and making sure you're dropping some comments down there. If we missed something that you feel like it was important at this Comic-Con, drop that shit down below in a fucking comment. Do not be afraid. You're not afraid to call me a faggot, so you shouldn't be afraid to tell me about some other good stuff. So let's play this.
Yeah.
Help me welcome to the stage, President of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige!
This dude knows how to throw a party.
He does.
He certainly knows how to make an announcement. He can't dress for shit. He looks like a single stepdad.
He does. He does.
See, and that's the other thing. People didn't know if he was just going to have a dick sucking contest of the shit that they had already done. But the fact that the Russos had their own hour or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. I love people.
Okay,
I love
so-
people pretending that they care about the Eternals.
No, but you know
it's
what?
my favorite thing
He
in the
might
world,
make
man.
people care about
He
the
will.
Eternals.
He will for sure.
If you're unfamiliar with the Eternals are basically your Greek gods of the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What he said.
Basically, there were some big casting decisions made on this before, with Selma Hayek being part of the cast. One of the co-stars from the movie Get Out is part of the cast.
Ooh.
And then they announced one literally right before Comic-Con, and she ended up showing up on stage, and that is Angelina Jolie.
Oh, damn.
Who really hasn't been in a major fucking vehicle in some time, and has never really starred in a franchise vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like, Angelina Jolie's a big-ass actress for this type of a role, I would think.
I was gonna say Tomb Raider, but that doesn't really count.
No, that kind of counts, I guess. Nah, she kind of carried
Very
that
early
franchise.
though. It hasn't. It's been a long time.
The fact that
You know
she's
what I
playing
mean?
Althena is not lost on anybody. Like the fucking goddess and shit.
It's basically playing Hera. For all intents and purposes.
Which means it's gonna be weird. If you don't know what he means by Jack Kirby,
Weird.
Jack Kirby was the Steve-O to fucking Stan Lee's Johnny Knoxville. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel what
Like
you're
Johnny
saying.
Knoxville
Yeah.
was fucked up. Stan Lee was fucked up. Jack Kirby was even worse. Like the Jack Kirby stuff, it was more of the abstract, more of the magical variety, not so much superhero shit. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, he was a lot more into
and-
big myths and stuff like that.
And there is no fucking coincidence to the fact that Stan died, Jack's name went on Homecoming, or Far From Home, and now they're doing Jack Kirby properties. Stan and Jack Kirby have a long-standing fucking feud beef. And I think for a long time, in Stan being alive,
that's true, man.
that Stan was getting in the way of Jack Kirby getting his due on a lot of these fucking characters.
You guys say big hello to our director. Director of Eternals, Chloe's out.
I don't know who this is, but Marvel, with their, we're going to continue pushing the diversity envelope. We got an Asian female as a director of a majority female cast movie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as Icarus,
What else has she done?
I have no idea. I got to turn that audio up just a tad.
Kingo.
All right, so I have a beef with that.
Me too. What?
He's just now getting to be famous. Understand, Kamal, right?
I don't know.
It's Camille. This is the fucking dude who had the beef with Apu from The Simpsons.
Oh,
And
really?
and he did that movie, The Problem with Apu, which I agree with him, and I understand he grew up hearing that he was Apu his whole fucking life, and that's too fucking bad. But as far as casting him in an MCU film, it seems like some of these castings of these current projects that they're getting ready to announce are based on who's hot right now. A mixture of who's hot right now and who was hot 10 years ago.
I think it's weird because the character that he's playing is Japanese and a samurai.
Okay,
That's why I think
didn't
it's
know
weird.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
so odd.
So the guy accusing The Simpsons of cultural appropriation is
Appropriated a
culturally
culture, yeah.
appropriated? Word. What are you doing? Okay.
As Makari, Lauren Ridloff.
I don't know who she is.
Vastos, Brian
That he
Tyree
was in
Henry.
Get Out. I like him a
I
lot.
like him a
I'm
lot
gonna
as
bring
well.
out the leader of the Eternals playing Ajax, Salma Hayek.
Selma Hayek, dope as fuck. Always been dope as fuck.
Let me introduce
She could be 70 and she's
playing
still getting the
Sprite,
whole 4
Leah
inches.
McHugh. And his big bad Gilgamesh.
I don't know where that little
Tom
kid's
Lee.
from.
And
Gilgamesh. Now, isn't that the guy from Iron Fist? Wasn't he in Iron Fist, or is it just...
The whole 4 inches.
So there's Angelina. Looking completely shiny. Look at her face, bro. Look at
It's
that.
like she's been dipped in
Hey everyone. But was this guy in Iron Fist, or am I tripping?
I don't know. I didn't fucking watch Iron. I watched. You know what?
No one
I
watched
watched
Iron
one
Fist.
fight scene from Iron Fist. Saw that there were 56 fucking cuts
okay.
in a 2-minute fight
And that's
scene.
the other thing
and
that
was like,
Feige-
I'm done.
The other thing
I'm good.
The other thing that Feige's doing is he is farming some people from the canceled Netflix MCU shows.
That's true.
So later on, they're going to talk about Mashallah Ali being the new Blade and stuff. Which spoiler alert, but he was from the Iron Fist television show. You know what I mean? And they canceled not Iron Fist. What was the other one?
Punisher.
No.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. He was
Okay.
on Luke Cage. They canceled Luke Cage from out from underneath him, and he essentially called Feige and said, "You got to find me something else," and I got an idea. Because he's got a dual. He's won 2 fucking Academy Awards already. So like, if that guy wants to be in your fucking superhero movie, you let him. You feel me?
Remember we were talking earlier on about like cinematic real estate? That's a good piece of cinematic real estate. Getting a
for
double Oscar
fucking
winner
sure.
to like play
For fucking sure.
For fucking sure.
Unbelievably, playing Thena, Angelina Jolie.
It is kind of unbelievable.
It's an odd choice.
I don't think it's an odd choice because she's an odd bird,
She is.
and is that? What's that right there?
What's what right where?
What is that?
What is what?
What is that right there over my shoulder?
It's a tattoo.
Does that say fucking Joe Bob?
I think that's just something. It's like runic. Or
She's
something.
got the worst jail tats for a rich person. And look at her double-decker condo teeth. So, that's the other thing that's dope about this Marvel Hall H thing, is that this thing went out over 90 minutes. And the whole time, essentially, they were all standing off stage just awaiting to be called by Kevin Feige. So that little green room they must have had
Must have been
was
crazy.
probably one of the dopest collections of famous people currently, with none of the Avengers. That was the other thing. For 90 minutes, he did not fucking bring up the Avengers at all.
Smart.
Like,
Very
straight
smart.
the fuck up. Like, they're not resting on their loyalty.
You gotta move the zeitgeist away from the Avengers and onto all this new weird shit, man.
And the Winter Soldier coming to Disney's new streaming platform, Disney Plus. This Disney Plus, let me tell you something.
I am so ready.
We're gonna get Disney
so
Plus.
Fucking ready,
obviously,
man.
obviously, motherfuckers need to get Disney Plus, but
What's going on with the
Nah.
Falcon Winter Soldier?
yeah, but nobody gives a fuck what's going on with the Falcon or the Winter Soldier.
I do.
Sebastian Stan is a piece of fucking
Man, no,
wood.
fuck you. Fuck
So
you.
look. Here's the thing.
No,
Here's the thing.
No.
Here's my
no.
Here's my fucking problem right now.
Go on,
Here's
go
my
on.
problem. Watch this little. Watch.
You take it. Hold it.
This is my problem.
Okay.
All right, that's enough. Let me get it back.
You see the bit? That's gonna be the bit.
That's gonna be
That's
the show.
the bit. That's the fucking show. Is you got Sebastian Stan, who in my opinion is a piece of fucking wood. He's a piece of fucking wood. I never gave a fuck about Bucky.
You're weird.
I never gave a fuck
You're
about Bucky.
weird, man.
And
don't know.
I think Homeboy, who I want to call Anthony Edwards, and that's not his name, is trying way too hard to be the comic relief and the personality of a duo where only one side's going to have any kind of personality.
Maybe.
And I do not want to see the odd couple, which is what this looks like it's going to be. Now, the Falcon and Winter Soldier promotion that went on prior to Comic-Con had the Falcon get up and stuff in the logo, but we now know that on the show, he's going to not be Falcon. He's going to be Captain America. So that's the other problem I have. This show is not Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's Captain America.
It is Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
You know what it is? It's Captain America, the next Captain America.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
It's fucking it's Bucky and this dude. It's Bucky and Homeboy, the new adventures of Captain America.
Yeah.
It's Lois and fucking Clark, and that's
It's Cop Out with wings.
one of my concerns with this whole TVization, all this shit, was I didn't want to see that. Like, I don't want to see a romantic comedy with Scarlet Witch and fucking Vision, which is what it seems like we're getting to. So, but all right, whatever. These two, I'm not interested.
I'm into it because
but-
like I think this whole like espionage thriller flavor that they've come
Is
up
that
with,
what
like,
it is?
Yeah, that is what it is.
So it's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be like
Winter Soldier Civil War as a TV show, and I'm into that. Like that, those movies got me into the Captain America character. They
Put
were
that
what
dude-
convinced me that like
put
Marvel
that
had
dude
more
in,
miles in
put
it.
him in an MK Ultra designed fucking like, because that's what Bucky was an MK Ultra patient.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is if that this show's not leading to the inevitable, he's got to kill Bucky because Bucky went crazy again. I'm not interested.
I think that's what it's going to be because you know who the main bad guy of this series is,
Zemo.
right? It's Zemo, yeah. It's the fucking string pulling guy, and that's what you need for this show. I don't know. This is the one that I think is a sure bet. Is the Vulcan and whatever the new Captain America one.
Nobody gives two shits or a fuck about Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
I know. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings is in my like could be cool, but I don't care pile.
Now I think they're gonna tie it into Strange.
They're gonna tie it into Iron Man 3.
Really?
Yeah, Ten Rings is the organization that the Mandarin leads. That he's going to fight the Mandarin. That's the only reason I'm kind of into it. That, and the potential that it could be like a full-on martial arts movie, which Marvel doesn't really have.
Yeah. All right.
I'm into that.
Like a kung fu movie.
Yeah, if they go full-on kung fu with it, then I'll be down for it. If it's just a
All right.
standard Marvel movie...
I'm glad Paul Bettany got a job again.
Me too.
And the fact that the youngest Olsen twin, or the youngest sister of the Olsen twins, is now infinitely times more famous than they are.
Yeah, but they're like busy being billionaires and stuff.
Yeah, no, they'll never have to. But that's the other thing. They gave up their childhoods to be... Like, I don't know who she is and why people are excited.
It's coming to Disney Plus.
I don't know, but... Alright, WandaVision's gonna tie in...
Was where did Loki go? What happened?
Before they get to the fucking Loki
Yeah,
shit.
man.
The WandaVision shit is gonna tie directly into...
Doctor Strange
Doctor
too.
Strange in the Multiverse, which they're going to discuss here shortly. It takes place post Endgame.
Okay.
So one of those, so the second snap brought back Vision too.
I don't think it did.
then how'd he come back?
That's what the show's going to be.
So maybe I don't know, and that's what I was trying to work out in my head is where could that be going?
A really, really fucked up domestic drama with superpowers. Like you ever seen Revolutionary Road with Leonardo DiCaprio?
See, and that's what I don't want. See, that's what I'm
I
saying.
kind of do want it because
this
it's
is going to be
different.
my so-called life with superpowers, and I'm not trying to see that.
I'm into
not
that with
interested.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe because I have faith they're going to pull it off. Like, that's my thing now. We're
Okay.
19 movies deep. Like, think about, like, in context, you have a series that's 19 movies deep. They do their grand finale, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a huge hit.
Yeah.
What a fucking achievement that is. Like, this is the thing. At this point, they can do what they want, and I don't care. They can announce, like, Howard the Duck. Or fucking...
It's funny you say that,
Yeah.
because we'll get to that later, because that's the new Kevin Smith project.
Oh, is it?
It's a cartoon. They gave him Howard. So it's him and Mark Bernardin from Fat Man on Batman. Mark Bernardin is the head writer. Like, that's perfect to me. Like, I guess he said it at the end of his Hall H panel. He had said it at the
That's
end of his
such a
Hall H panel.
perfect fit.
All right, so yeah, I don't give a fuck about Loki.
Me neither.
Like, I don't give a fuck about Loki as a character. I thought he was fucking terrible. I'm not a huge fan of that actor in particular.
See, okay, I am a fan of Loki, and my thing is, I think his story's done. Like him dying
This
and sacrificing
sidetrack-
himself to like stop Thanos. Him
Yeah.
like becoming a hero and shit.
But this,
That's it.
But this
He's
Loki
done.
will never have done that.
Exactly. So what's the point?
Maybe he's gonna be the one that sacrifices himself every fucking series of movies or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would only
Yeah.
make the most sense. But I really don't give a fuck about him.
A new Monica Rambeau. Tiana
I know.
Taylor.
In like
alright, so we're
50
still-
years,
yeah.
we're gonna do a Marvel 50 years retrospective.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do memorials for all the characters that die,
Loki.
and it's just gonna be a wall of Lokis.
Loki is coming
Here,
to
sit.
Disney
Can you
Plus.
sit up straighter?
No.
Ask more than
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
after Endgame was where did Loki go?
You're full of shit. That's the biggest question you got after Endgame.
What happened to
You're
Loki
full of
after that?
fucking
That was
bullshit,
my biggest
fam.
question.
I don't want to spoil them, but I will spoil the first place he went. He came to Hall H. Ladies and gentlemen,
My biggest question is The Rat getting his own movie? That's what I want to know.
I don't care about this. I really shouldn't care about Hawkeye, but I think I'm going to.
I think Hawkeye's gonna be
I
good.
think they're gonna redeem the shit out of him in the Black Widow movie, and they're not saying anything about it yet. Tom Middleton, one of your countrymen. There's a lot of your countrymen in the fucking cinematic universe. There's a lot of dudes from the Who universe.
Doctor Strange.
We're,
Right?
we're the best actors.
Right?
I don't know what to
Oh,
say
you-
about. I don't know what to say about that.
Bro. Or chap.
I'm just
Bloke.
saying.
What's-
Like,
well, how do
I'm
you
just
say-
saying.
Dude,
We have
yo,
the globe.
the
You
night-
have
the
days of
night-
our lives.
the
That's
night-
what I'm
the
saying.
Night Monkey T-shirt cracked me the fuck up. Did you see that?
No.
He comes out in a Night Monkey T-shirt.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Hold on.
Doctor Strange.
What?
Yeah, this guy came out in a Night Monkey shirt. Which, if you don't understand the Night Monkey reference, it's
I
from
don't.
Far From Home.
Okay.
In the videos of him in Europe, because they were trying to
Okay.
hide that it was Spider-Man, they kept calling him the Night Monkey on
Oh,
the news.
okay.
The Night Monkey strikes again and shit.
I think that might be foreshadowing to something. We'll get to
I
that.
think it
we'll
is
get to that.
too.
We'll get to that.
But see,
We'll get to that. But yeah, let's watch the bro.
so they're finally gonna. They're claiming this is gonna be the first MCU horror movie,
A little bit of a planes, trains, and
Okay.
automobiles
but it's
situation
PG-13,
here to Hall H.
and it's called the
All
multiverse of
during your
whatever,
birthday.
right?
Nah, I just did this.
Okay, there is one way they could do that as a horror movie and have it be super effective in PG-13.
Yeah.
Lovecraft, like cosmic fucking horror.
Well, it's multiverse, so some of the multi. This is where they're going to introduce Dracula. This is where they're going to introduce the idea of the Marvel Zombies, which is a very successful franchise, comic book wise.
Yes, it is.
And they already introduced one.
Yes, they did, and we'll talk about that too. Yeah,
with
they did.
fucking In
I
Far
know,
From
yeah.
Home.
In Far From Home.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Iron Man that came crawling out of the grave in Mysterio's thing.
Oh, yeah.
The whole idea behind there being a dead fucking version of him that's in another multiverse, that's crazy too.
Appearing in this movie alongside her. Let's bring Lizzie Olsen back out.
Alright, so Scarlet Witch and him. Yeah, you see how much better it looks when we kind of got a space between us? The thing I saw was separation. Y'all are hearing tech notes
10 plus years.
in this week's podcast.
So many
I
tech
don't
notes.
care.
We want to try, and with this, all all of those set-in-stone MCU scenes and experiences you've seen before, you'll see different versions of in this. Something incredibly exciting about it is that a huge majority of the actors from our movies.
Imagine the ball patch that.
Oh
dude's
yeah,
got.
no, he's talking about What If now. Most, if not all, the actors are coming back to give their voices to the original characters.
An awesome voice narrate that piece. That
Just
awesome
imagine,
voice
though.
is the Watcher. Played in
Ball
this
patch on
series
that
by the
dude.
amazing
He's
Jennifer
always got a cap on. Must get mad hot under there.
This dude's
Maybe
a
that's
dope.
his. Maybe that's his secret to why he's so good at movies. He's just always cooking his
This
brain
cat's dope
under that
as
hat.
fuck, and they can just use him
Yeah.
as the Watcher. He's got the head for it. You just make his head larger the way they fucking did to King Tyrant.
He's got the voice too.
Yeah. Okay. Another beef. Here we go.
Okay.
Hot take. Hot take. What's Homeboy's name? Not the character, the actor.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. This is for you. I see what you're trying to do. He's been in these movies a long time. Mm-hmm. And he's been
He
in
has.
a few movies that were high profile with some high profile people where he gave amazing performances. Movies like The Town, for example. He's I don't know. Maybe he used his entire
Well,
new
leave it
Marvel.
there so
Maybe
you can
I
see his
think
whole
I
face.
think he got his Marvel check. And he's like, I'm finally gonna get to that place with this money that I want to get to. Right now, Jeremy Renner is undergoing a complete PR makeover. He's got his own band, the Jeremy Renner Band, that's putting out very mediocre, rockish country, like nearly Bon Jovi music. He's got big, huge budget videos that are going up on YouTube, right?
Riding high, day and night, satisfied wherever we roam. You're the star of the show.
You see where he's coming in from?
Where's he coming in from?
He didn't come in from the side stage like everybody else.
Oh, he came in from
through
outside in front of the
fucking crowd
Like
with
a
the
man of the
light,
fucking people.
And he's slapping hands and pointing to the fucking camera. I fucking see you.
You're not
I
wrong.
see you, you fucking fame whore. And if I have anything to say about it, it won't work. Wait, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see the cornball. He knows. Woo! Look, he
Oh
knows
my
exactly
God.
what he's doing. And he's got his own film
That was like
crew.
a John Bon Jovi move.
He's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
his
yeah.
own film crew fucking doing this. Look, he bumped into the security guard. The security guard's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Those CSC security guys in San Diego meet so many famous people. I had friends
Yeah,
who did that
they
when I
wouldn't
lived
give
there.
a shit, man. That's true.
Look. Hey, look. How you gonna have Feige bow to you, Cliff Barton? Fuck out of here. You couldn't even save your family from the snap.
Makes it all happen, right?
Who could save their family from the snap? That's not fair.
I know who couldn't. Cliff Barton's whole family got zipped out of existence.
It's Clint.
Cliff.
Clint.
He's Cliff.
It's Clint.
And then this dude's fucking crazy, like hitting right now.
I love this dude. Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
really
familiar.
not
I'm pretty familiar, and he's very talented.
Biggest letdown of the year. Endgame, fucking Endgame, behind the scenes
You mean
shit.
MIB?
No, Endgame behind the scenes shit.
Okay.
More letdownish than MIB International with those two is the fact that as Fat Thor, they didn't make Hemsworth gain any weight.
This is just a fat suit.
It's just a fucking fat suit, and it's a good fat suit.
It's a very
But,
good
bro,
fat
you're
suit.
an actor. Put on 30 fucking pounds and then lose it. And that's how you win awards. That's what Vincent D'Onofrio does. That's what fucking Christian Bale does. Look at The Machinist.
That's true.
They could have done The Machinist with digital. He was like, "No, fuck that. I'm gonna get my body down to 104 and almost die." And then, she must have. The phone stopped ringing for her a while ago.
I know, right?
But she's turning into one of these almost Harrison Ford level actors, where her fucking resume is like, yeah, I was the girl from The Professional.
Look at her face right now.
And
you can just see
it's
in
gonna
her
be
mind,
smaller.
she's like, look at all these disgusting nerds.
She hated it.
I know, you can see she
She
hates it.
hated it. But that's the only person that they probably could have gotten. They probably threw an obscene amount of money at her.
Yeah, they probably like pulled up a
All right.
truck outside her house.
As of
with,
right
like, all
now,
those big
I
bags
mean,
and shit.
anybody in
For
the
sure.
MCU right now is being signed to multi-film deals
Yep.
for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
That when you wash it out, they're gonna end up doing 11 films and probably only making like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
But when you have 26 movies that have all averaged 1.2 billion in the box office, and Disney's behind you.
Averaging that now, oh my god.
Yeah, after Spider-Man, because Spider-Man broke $1 billion.
Yeah.
The average is now 1.2 billion, and that includes Ant-Man, which didn't make nearly that much. But
it's the average though. That's not how. Yeah, it's the average.
and then I mean, you got Marvel, and then 2 weeks later you got a Disney movie breaking $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And that pot of money is pretty much the same pot of money to some regard.
Oh shit, son.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And it's a big pot of money too.
All right, so, and they've already been filming Black Widow.
Have they?
There's been set pictures of her and Taskmaster. That's kind of how we knew that the Taskmaster was the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Something else I just learned, they're going to introduce Rachel Weisz, and people were asking who she was going to play. Apparently, this storyline has to do with where Natasha came from.
Like the Red Room and stuff.
So all the women there are called Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow is almost like James Bond.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Cool. Where it's like an agent name. So then you got this guy, David, whatever the fuck his name is, from Stranger Things.
Oh my god.
But he was also the new Hellboy. He's the new Hellboy.
Yeah.
Great actor. I like a lot of his stuff. But here we go with another example of them probably paying a long-term premium for somebody who's super fucking hot right now, who may not be hot later, like that Kumal individual. And all these signings have come since Endgame made all that money. So you know what I mean? That money's clearly being back spent on the product, which is good to see. As long as these actors and actresses that are hot now,
they're in kind of a win-win position, because if it doesn't work out and they don't pop, they can just deprioritize them, have them show up in big crossover movies and be like, take one off your contract.
Yeah, you end up on Disney Plus 6 months from now.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. But that's the other thing, like, so some of these people clearly did not know why other people were there. Yeah. So this girl, when she heard Rachel Weisz, she went, "Oh my god!" Like she didn't know who else was in this movie with her.
Who's she? I
don't know. She's one of the widows.
Her.
She's one of the widows, I think. All right, so she's gonna be a widow. They thought maybe she was Taskmaster, which would have been fire. I think. I'm into that. Favorite Rachel Weisz movie? Constantine. I don't give a fuck. Constantine's one of the best films ever.
It's not.
Yeah, it is. Oh, the hat thing's funny too. With the, did you bring 7,000 extras for everybody? Of course we did.
Of course we did.
Here they come.
All right.
So everybody got an ugly as fuck.
Everybody gets a shitty black hat.
Yeah, everybody got an ugly as fuck Black Widow hat.
Together.
Everybody. And then they were like, "Oh, let's bring the 90 fucking people that I co-starred today with." Well, this is the cast of the next fucking big, huge fucking... But it's not, though. That's the other thing.
Are they all going to start singing Kumbaya?
There's going to be no Avengers movies in Phase 4.
There shouldn't be. They need to relax that brand. Give people time to
Look at all these
it.
famous people.
Okay, I think we have everybody on stage. So if you guys want to turn around to face the photographer, are we good?
I just see a C, a B, see a C's, a couple of B's, and an A.
No, that's a bunch of famous people.
A bunch of moderate.
You know, but moderate's on a scale, bro.
Leave you today with one more thing that I don't think has been rumored.
And this is what, like, made everybody's dick hard.
Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali.
Now, I don't know what I would have thought, not knowing what I knew going into watching this.
See, now that's
as to
a good
why
get.
he would have came out. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it wasn't a get. Apparently he called them.
Still a good get. They still said yes. Still a good decision on their part.
Oh, okay. So before he actually brought him out, before he puts on his stupid hat, Kevin said we didn't have enough time to talk about a lot of stuff, and he banged out a bunch of shit. One of them was Fantastic Four.
Okay, good.
One of them was mutants. One of them was Galaxy.
Just like
3.
the concept of mutants or the new mutants?
He just said mutants. He just said we didn't have enough time to talk about mutants.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough time to talk about Guardians 3. Black Panther 2.
That's a cheeky move. It's a very, like, sly move.
Like
there.
but like I said, I think those are all Phase 5 because I think 4 is gonna be the new shit, which is 20 and 21, and then 22 through 24 is gonna be sequel hell, where it's just gonna be sequels to death.
Okay.
Fucking Captain Marvel 2 was the other thing he said. They got a huge pop, and then he brought out Mahershala Ali, 2-time Academy Award winner, fucking dope, like one of the most dope actors working today. And there's his hat with probably the dopest logo for Blade that I could think of. Like, and the whole place clearly went ape shit. Everybody's souped. Because that instills a certain amount of excitement with those people who didn't know. You know what I'm saying? About the movie, about what he was playing. But the whole, did you see the logo? How it was like...
I've seen the Blade logo. Yeah, I think it's dope.
It's
I think it's super sweet.
It's
yeah.
the Daywalker. It symbolizes the fucking Daywalker, where it's like
there's a lot of
half
like,
light, half dark. You know,
there's a lot of like literal sharpness to it as well.
Be
Like
so
for
dope.
sure, it's
So,
good stuff.
there they go, swinging their fucking Kevin Feige, swinging his fucking, I'd say his dick, but at this point it's his bankroll, because Angelina Jolie is not cheap. Selma Hayek is not cheap.
It's true.
At this point, Hemsworth is not cheap.
I bet Natalie Portman wasn't cheap.
I bet you Natalie Portman was not cheap. Guy from Stranger Things, David dude from Hellboy,
David
not
Harbour,
cheap.
Yeah. Nope.
Mahershala Ali, definitely not cheap. Because you get to put Academy Award winner, you know, as part
in
of
front
your
of a
marketing.
fucking Blade movie,
yeah,
man.
in part of your marketing. So
Hey, that's a crazy coup.
you got, you know, the return of fucking Princess Amidala. So we'll see how that fucking works out. Like that, but that's what it is at this point with some of these characters. I always did that in my brain.
Do you think there's going to be an I Hate Sand reference?
Maybe.
I hope there is.
Maybe.
I really hope
But,
there is.
another
Don't fail
thing,
us.
this goes along the same fucking lines of things that aren't cheap. So, I don't know how familiar you are with the film Top Gun.
I've seen Top Gun.
You've seen Top Gun.
I've seen Top Gun, yeah.
Understand. My dad was in the
Oh,
Navy.
by the way, 9 out of 10. It's a fucking classic.
Oh, it's a fantastic film, even though fucking crazy inaccurate to a point that's almost disgusting.
Did you know that
And-
they did the inaccuracies on purpose?
They had to in order to be allowed access to what they were allowed access
As well
to.
as that, though, they got like fact checkers in to like make sure that the movie would be correct, and in bits where they just thought, "Oh, this will be cooler," they just changed it.
Oh, because there's things that wholly make no sense.
And
like,
I think it's cool because like
the
some
end
things
of the
you have
movie,
to change to be dramatic.
You
know
don't
what I mean?
get orders issued like that when they
Yeah.
were like all in a room. We all go into the same thing to fight the. No, that's not how that works. But nonetheless, military enlistment for people trying to be pilots peaked right after the release of the movie Top Gun.
Really?
You have to look at a movie like Top Gun as exactly what it was. It was
propaganda.
a 2-hour recruiting movie because they were having a hard time after the Vietnam War of restocking those ranks of dead pilots. Now, what they didn't show in the original Top Gun movie is the helicopter pilot, which is how most of these dudes end up. There are far more rotary wing aircraft than there are fixed wing aircraft.
That makes sense because they'd just be deployed
And
more.
what it is it's guys that wash out end up as helicopter pilots.
Okay.
It's like an inside joke. So what you're seeing in the movie Top Gun is like the top 2% of guys trying to do that job. So I have to assume that after these last couple wars, they need people. I can only assume that with the sequel having been in 30 years now, now in the future, it's probably going to have a lot to do with the fact that the fighter pilot is dead. There's no such thing anymore. These guys are now drone pilots. These guys are sitting in fucking canisters in fucking Florida and video gaming these fucking drones.
Oh my god.
So I have to assume
Something's gonna take down all the drones.
that this is gonna.
No one knows how to fly planes anymore.
Oh,
They gotta get the one guy who can.
The difference between old Top Gun and this Top Gun is the biggest difference is Tom Cruise. And I mean that as a person and as a superstar. Because they're letting him do whatever the fuck he wants. And it's my understanding that what you're about to see in this trailer of him in these planes was legitimately him in these planes. Sometimes actually solo flying them.
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
just want to say, if this movie, the plot-wise, turns out to be Die Hard 4 2.0, I called it.
Well,
I'm just saying
but
that.
I don't know because
Like that's the only
that's the other
logical
thing.
way that you can make fighter pilots relevant.
No, but in
like
the
2020,
80s,
you know what I mean?
you had a lot of fighter pilot movies that kind of came after Top Gun 2. One of them being Iron Eagle, and the only reason that these movies worked was because at the time we had a threat of a country that did have a sizable air threat. There is not another country in this world that has a sizable air threat against us right now. Not even the Russians. So that's why I think it's going to be the drone thing. I think so too. This is going to be far more. I don't know, something like I don't know.
Thomas Gabriel was going to shut down the drones, Chuck.
I know something.
They're going to need to find. They're going to need to find the Warlock, Chuck.
Yo, all right.
For real though, what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the geopolitical stuff because you're right about that. I don't have an issue with that. What I'm saying is, on a plot level, the only way to make a grizzled old fighter pilot relevant in a realistic way in the period we're in is if some fucking super hacker thing takes down all the drones. Because this is going to be...
I like this, by the way, because they didn't call it Top Gun 2. They just called it Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick, yeah.
Which he obviously took a fucking page out of Sly's book. And if we see any, continuations of his movies that haven't had sequels, I would assume he's going to do the same thing. Because not only did Sly do it with Rambo, he also did it with Balboa.
What was the name of his character in Cocktail?
You better shut your fucking mouth. Don't you fucking put that voodoo on us of a fucking Cocktail movie. That's ridiculous. Do me a solid and tip that light this way. Like towards us. Yeah.
Towards us.
Just take the metal rod and push it. No, like laterally this way. No, other way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop. Now come sit down. Oh, no. Pull it back a little more. All right. Come sit. Because I think this has to do with the lighting, too. A little bit. See, we're tweaking. We're tweaking, you bitches.
We're getting there.
I need to mark the rug. That's super clean except for down here. But that's because there's no space. I need to drown out these fucking... I don't know. I need to get better lights. I need to get better lights.
You do.
How dare me.
Shitty ass lights.
But I like this. I like the whole concept. I do have a problem right off jump. He's a captain in this movie. It's been 35 years since the last movie, and I think he was a lieutenant or a Lieutenant JG. He might have been an ensign. Even if I say he was an ensign, this still don't make no sense. Because there's something in the military called higher tenure. So you can age out of military service essentially, where if you don't make for enlisted people, some of us got stuck at E5. I got stuck at E5 for a grip. If I would have hit 15 years and was still in E5, I would not have been allowed to continue to 20. I would not have been allowed to retire.
Okay.
Due to higher tenure, it's called. And it's just that if you're stuck and you did something to get you that stuck, they don't want you. So the concept here is that he never got past captain for whatever reason.
You just get kicked. You get kicked upstairs. Is that what you're saying?
No, you get kicked out.
Oh, okay.
They would have removed him.
Okay.
Like they would have just been like, you have to get out. It's called forced retirement. The idea that he just willingly wouldn't retire and they just let it continue, and he only made captain and he obviously was at least past 40 years, in the storyline of his character. But I don't know. They might have set that. That's the other thing I'm not taking into consideration with Top Gun Maverick. It's entirely possible this movie takes place 20 years ago.
No. It's going to be set in the modern day, for sure. For sure.
We'll see.
We'll see. I'm very, very confident.
And they do set it up that it's been 35 years. So
yeah.
Okay, so these scenes here lead me to believe he's also some sort of test pilot. Because that right there is White Sands, New Mexico. That's the only place that fucking looks like that. And it's one of the advanced fighter training facilities.
Okay.
Like in test facilities.
You guys are getting the inside scoop here.
I don't think he did shit like this, but I certainly think maybe he insisted to be on the airplane. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The other thing this movie is going to be terribly missing, R.I.P. my homeboy Goose. You know about Goose? Goose died during his military service and then later on became a nerd at a college and led the fraternity, the Tri-Lambs, in the movies Revenge of the Nerds. And then after he got out of there, he was a doctor on the TV show ER. You don't know about Goose? Goose fucking lived forever.
Oh.
So yeah, they're making the thing that he refuses to die. So maybe he's being reckless as a test pilot and shit. I mean, clearly, like the permission to buzz the tower thing.
Mm-hmm.
All these old jokes we're gonna see, these old bits. So that was his original CO too in the first movie. You know, he's a 2-star admiral.
There's
now.
so many deep cuts in this trailer, man.
He says that you should
So
be a
good.
2-star admiral by now, but you're a captain. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, if they kicked him out, there wouldn't be a movie.
And he
That's the
said,
thing,
you know, you're
like-
you're the only person to shoot down 3 enemy fighters in the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dogfights
He looks
don't
good
happen.
he looks good for 80
does.
years old. Yo, let him yo, okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't look like a green screen to me. That looks like a GoPro
Nah, he
in the
got in a-
cockpit of a plane.
he got in a plane
they
and-
cat launched
and
him off a
flew, yeah,
fucking
for
carrier,
sure, for
which is
sure.
crazy to me. And that music, if you were a fan of the first movie,
Mm-hmm.
that's Coronado Island, which is where the first one took place. Miramar, which is, you know, the naval air station there. He got his old jacket.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
I heard his old bike. Now, I
Yeah.
heard there's a problem with something on the jacket that if you zoom in, one of those patches is racially insensitive because he got legitimate fucking military badges. And to be honest, a lot of the military, as far as who you're fighting against, is racially insensitive. That's okay. What does that look like to you? Is this going to be Top Gun in space? Because that's not a fighter jet helmet. That is a fucking space helmet.
All right. So I said.
So either
you know, I
he's
said the
not.
drone
So
thing?
either he's
Yeah,
in
you first.
space, or he's fucking trying to help the Avengers get the fucking stone. Because that's clearly not a fighter pilot helmet at all.
So I said the idea that someone's gonna hack into the drone network and stuff.
He's gonna have to shoot down a satellite.
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
get off his dick. But yeah, all right. So that we might be going to space.
I'm not on his dick. I'm saying that
I'm
movie's
on
gonna
his
be
dick.
fucking terrible if
Hang
they
like
do
a
this.
testy.
I'm hoping they don't do what I'm saying. I just think they're going
he might
to.
be going to space and having to blow up some shit in an experimental jet.
Oh man.
I didn't see that. Okay, so we got dude from Mad Men, who's clearly now in charge of whatever program.
Yeah.
And he's a 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing. I nitpick fucking shit in these movies as far as militarily.
I'm sure you do.
And that's the other thing. He's not driving on no flight line. And that's not, like, is that a throwback to the old movie?
Yeah, that is a throwback to the
Now,
old
is that
movie.
someone new? Because that does not look like Goose to me.
That is not Goose. That's a.
And if they went back to the same bar, that's the other thing. Nostalgia for nostalgia's sake is stupid.
I agree.
The bar that they do that Great Balls of Fire shit in,
Mm-hmm.
that looked to be the same place.
Yes, it did.
Okay. My issue with that is that fucking barbecue. It's called Kansas City Barbecue. It's right down there in San Diego. Their claim to fame is not their food, their fucking beverage, their service. It's the fact that in the 80s they were in this fucking movie and there's a huge sign in front. So if he just allowed them to get another 20 years of that shit out of this fucking franchise, I'm not going to be so happy. Oh wait, who do we have yelling just now? Because I heard Val's back.
Not
I
Iceman.
heard Iceman is back. No, I heard
Iceman back.
So that's clearly not the same scene. That's kind of.
That's a different scene.
I bet you they took
wasn't
the
that a
scene-
drone taking off?
So
Go back.
No, we're gonna get to that. So this to me looks like they took the two scenes of the bar where everybody was singing at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and the scene with Great Balls of Fire in the smaller place, and kind of melded them together. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Maybe. I think you might be right.
Let's see. That is a drone. That is
Do you
most certainly
think
a
Thomas
drone.
Gabriel is in charge of
I
that
feel
drone?
stupid. I feel played. Yeah, that.
Tom Cruise
That's
is gonna
a
have
drone,
to
my
shoot
guy.
down Thomas Gabriel's satellite.
That's a
in the
drone,
third
my
act.
guy.
You
All
heard it here first.
Additions. We got a lady. That's clearly a lady. I
This-
think.
I think she's gonna die.
Is that the new Goose?
I think she's gonna die because look at her call sign.
Oh shit!
She's gonna die.
All right, I'm gonna. Have
And
to
there's a funeral as well. There's
All right,
a funeral
Who is that?
in
There's
the
a
drone.
guy who looks a hell of a lot like Goose in this movie, and I'm not happy. Where is he? Hold on.
They just photocopied Goose.
Yeah, they were like, yo, is that his kid?
Do you think he's called
No,
not Goose
that
in the
better
fucking
not
script?
be his kid. That better not be his kid, Tom Cruise. That better not be his fucking kid.
It's gonna be his kid.
Because he's wearing the same shirt, and the thing is, there's
It's
a
gonna
picture.
be his kid.
And remember the picture of them in the bar with him in that shirt was a big part of the end of the first movie. It was a big part of the third act.
It's gonna be his kid. It's
That's
like poetry. It rhymes.
Goose Jr. Goose Jr. somehow ended up, and I bet you he's dating that Phoenix girl, and she's gonna die, and it's his fault.
For
and
sure.
That's what we're seeing here. Yo.
For sure.
Fuck you, Tom Cruise. And that's clearly, yeah. Yeah, we know Tom Cruise is
We
in
know
this
the
movie.
whole plot of this movie.
I'm pretty sure we've worked out most of it.
Yeah.
All right, or maybe, see, I don't know about this. I like this whole, like, idea Pacific Northwest, maybe.
He's got to teach him how to fly right again, like they did in the 80s. Or
maybe Goose Jr. is a drone pilot, and he doesn't want to fly real planes because of what happened to his Pop Dukes. I think we just wrote a better movie. That's what the name of the show should be. We should just have an offshoot show called, Look, We Wrote a Better Movie. Okay. Some dope maneuvering stuff, but that could also be...
There's going to be a lot of dope maneuvering
I
stuff
think
in
the
this
big
movie.
selling point, just like these, Mission Impossible movies is, I really flew them planes.
Yeah, sure.
Bro, and if he got my 1150 if he flew those planes, I don't give a fuck how terrible
It's gonna
this
be
movie is.
gonna be two things. It's gonna be that, and it's gonna be look how fucking cool these jets are.
No, but that's not even
Enlist.
a thing anymore.
It is.
No, but that's the thing.
It is.
Because I think the plot of the movie might be kind of saying the pilots are dying. That's the whole point too. Is he's the last of a dying breed or whatever.
So he's gonna make his last stand against Thomas Gabriel.
And I don't like him
That's
repeating
terrible.
I'm trying to remember. Kevin Smith's been saying a version of that a lot, and what it was there's some famous quote. Fuck, I should look it up too. Of somebody famous said, "When death comes knocking, make sure you tell him not today." And I just whatever. At this point, I've heard that so much in the last couple of months, that like quote. And mostly from Kevin Smith to some degree, because he used it to describe his heart attack, that I really hope Tom Cruise didn't just rip him off. But look, he's in a fucking spacesuit. Like,
is he in a spacesuit?
Look at it. Is that
He's gonna shoot down a satellite, Chuck. That's gonna be the third act of the movie.
Now check me, fucking feel me with hands on this one. Fighter pilots, as defined in movies like Top Gun and Iron Eagle, wear a helmet that contains a communications rig. Okay, it also contains the DARPA fucking eye tracker thing, because most of these dudes, and there's another terrible 80s movie that's specifically about like an old school fighter pilot adjusting to the idea of DARPA, which is a thing that goes in front of a fighter pilot's eye, where if they're looking at a plane over here, that's where the gun's pointed.
Okay.
It's like pupil tracking, and like it's supposed to be, it's all leading to this fucking Elon Musk chip in your brain thing.
I just want to quickly point something out. You were saying about how like the first one was propaganda and stuff. What if this is propaganda for the Space Force?
What if this is propaganda for Scientology and they have to fight fucking Xenu?
It is that. But what if it's like for the Space Force and shit? Like that's why this is getting made now.
Maybe.
And he's gonna fly a satellite in the third act.
I can see Tom Cruise getting a phone call.
Right.
Tom, it's Trumpito. I need some help. We need Space Force pilots.
I need some of that magic.
Can you come through and sprinkle some of that? No, I do not want to see him playing volleyball either. If there's a volleyball scene in this movie, I'm out. I'll just leave just for that scene and then come back.
There is a volleyball scene. They showed it. They showed it in the trailer for like a second.
Not happy about that.
It's just gonna be this first movie again.
I dig the reimagining.
But with references.
It's gonna be 4th of July. It'll be 4th of July weekend, almost guaranteed. Like that.
If this is good, it will be by accident. That's what I'm saying.
Yo.
Because like
yeah, if it's good, it's gonna be by accident.
I'm
because
out, like-
It's so funny. The girl who played the love interest in the first movie basically admitted that her experiences on the movie Top Gun turned her into a lifelong lesbian. And I don't know who this Jennifer Connelly is supposed to be playing in this movie. Apparently, his fucking 35-year younger fucking like that grosses me out. If that's his love interest, maybe that's his daughter or something.
he does like him young.
Yeah, but that's kind of gross.
It
bro.
is gross. I agree.
All right, I'm digging that. I
Super
gotta be
gross.
honest. Let's
I'm
see.
not. I'm sorry. I can't dig that. Picard.
Don't you hate him? I hate my fucking. Oh yeah, so that's a good
I just
one.
think it's going to be what we said it's going to be, and it's going to be very disappointing. I don't know.
It'll be some amalgamation of that shit.
I think the plane shit is going to be cool, but I don't think the actual story is going to be very good.
Okay, so we know Star
We
Trek
in
Picard is coming to the CBS All Access app.
How big a Star Trek fan are you?
Not
in
big enough to
general?
fucking pay $8 a month for the fucking CBS app to give a fuck about this.
Fair enough.
Now I give a fuck about the mythology because if they
Me too.
fuck up that character, which I don't think Patrick Stewart would let them, but
I think he would.
rumor
I
has
think
it,
he would.
from what I understand from several American Dad fucking commentaries and Seth MacFarlane saying it, Patrick Stewart will say anything you write down on a script for him.
It's true.
He will say anything. So hopefully he just was
And
like,
you know
"Oh,
what else as
let's
well?
do it."
He already let them fuck up Picard's character in the movies. They turned him
So,
into Bruce Willis.
Whatever.
Like, what the fuck?
He's back at the winery. We know that.
Yeah.
And trying to live his
Whining
life
at the
his whole time.
winery.
All right. So we got a winery.
Yep.
He's kicking it. He's an old. Look at his old man hand. Get a
know.
close up of that. We need that shit for B-roll, fam. So I think CBS All Access is gonna flop too. That's the other thing, because in some cases, content from providers that are subscription based only, if they go under, those pieces and those compositions end up in ownership hell.
Oh.
Where no one contractually knows who owns them. There was a app called CISO that was a comedy app. They put out a bunch of content, including shit like Harmon. Dan Harmon did a show for them. It was the only reason I got the CISO app. They were playing D&D live, and then somebody had gone back and animated most of it. Like what they were saying was animated, and you know what I mean?
That sounds
It was-
really
it was
cool. I'd watch
super-
that.
It's called Harmon Quest. It was fucking super dope.
I'd watch that.
But CISO went under. So that shit, you can't find that shit anywhere. So stuff like this, hopefully, if CBS All Access does go under the way I think it probably will, because CBS's general audience is old people.
Do you know about the behind-the-scenes drama with the show, which points to what you're saying?
Oh, I'm
Funny
not,
enough.
not entirely.
Okay, so there's this guy called Alex Kurtzman, and he was the
Okay.
showrunner of Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
And he got kicked off Star Trek Discovery for abusing the writing staff.
Okay.
He was the showrunner of this show for the majority of the filming time.
All right.
He's a guy that doesn't get Star Trek. He gets, like, stupid big action scenes and stuff. So, he was the guy who was the creative head for most of this project.
Okay.
And that's why I have very little faith in it, basically. I don't
Well,
think this is going to be
like
good.
I said, I think we've already kind of
I would love it to be good, obviously.
nailed where they lifted this shit from. Yeah, so it's been 20 years, my dude. Now,
I think it's weird that
Here's-
he looks
all right.
young there, but then he looks all bloated
so
later.
background for all you youngins who never watched fucking Next Gen. Picard is one of the few humans that was assimilated by the Borg and then escaped assimilation.
Yes.
But during that time where he was assimilated, didn't he rise to like being the Borg? Didn't he like?
They used him as like their, like, you know, like the mouth of Sauron?
Yeah.
He was like their face for humanity.
Okay.
And they used the information about him to break through Starfleet's defenses and just
Okay.
devastate like the Federation and stuff.
Okay.
And it gave him like loads of survivor's guilt and PTSD and stuff.
Yeah, but
afterwards.
he was still able to hear them to some degree.
Yeah.
And we learned about that and shit like Generations.
And First Contact.
Yep, and First Contact,
Which is the
where-
best of those movies.
Oh, First
in my
Contact was
opinion.
fucking amazing
It was.
because it seriously dealt with the idea of the hero really not being a hero, and that makes you think of characters like fucking Kirk in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
All right, so Data's also back. Now, this is not the incident that occurred in not Generations, but in First
the end
Contact.
of Star Trek Nemesis, he dies.
Okay, so at the end,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Well, he dies, but that's a fucking odd term because he's a fucking android. So,
all right, I think it's fair to say that Data is a sentient being. I think it's fair to say he's on the same level as a human being in terms of how we would give him rights and stuff, because he is.
No, but I'm not talking about fucking legally and contractually.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is
I'm talking
you see him
in
as a
terms
person.
of what happened to him.
He was inside the big evil Romulan spaceship, and it got blown up. He should have been.
But
he should have been vaporized. Really,
he has his pieces, so maybe they just put him back together.
Well, in that one, there was another android called B4 that was less advanced, and it was implied at the end of the movie that Data had copied over onto him.
Oh, okay, like a blank one.
And something I do want to talk about is there's a video game called Star Trek Online.
Okay.
And they have their own story that's set 30 years after those 90s TV shows. And this seems to be drawing a lot from it. And in that, Data was transferred into B4, and he was mad about it because they basically killed someone to bring him back. And he left Starfleet. They're not going to do that with this, obviously, because this is doing its own thing.
So enter this weird girl. Now, she even looks like the girl from Logan. I think this whole fucking thing is going to turn out to be a ripoff of Logan to some degree.
I think so, too.
And this girl, through this trailer, I've come to believe that she's either a Borg or someone who was assimilated and then escaped.
Also, the Fifth Element.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
I think so, too.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like, she's the chosen one. She's special. She can either save the Federation or destroy it.
Or maybe she's got ties. Maybe she's a genetic Borg. You ever think of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe she was born of a Borg, but she's not. See, I don't see any implants. Borgs typically are marked by implants. Mm-hmm. But what if she's a genetic Borg? Yeah. Genetically that way. They figured out a way to go all.
7 of 9 had a kid and the nanoprobes got into her eggs, kind of thing. Yeah.
All right, yeah, something inside me, which to me screams Borg.
Can I just say I'm so fucking done with the special kung fu chick trope.
Okay.
I think this is so dumb.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see her whooping ass later.
I know, I know.
The Borg weren't the fucking smoothest fighters.
No.
Does that make sense?
They had no concept of tactics whatsoever.
It was just, and then they would just assimilate to the weapons that were being used against them. Like that was their main offensive
in
weapon,
Voyager,
was not being able to be hurt.
In Voyager, you could beam onto one of their ships, go to the center of it, put a photon torpedo just right there, warp out, and then just fucking blow it up.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're not good.
They have no concept of strategy or tactics.
It's just overwhelming power.
They're like bees.
All right, so
you know
clearly that's Starfleet.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I like that they use the design from the games, funny enough.
Okay, is that what that
nice.
is?
That's
so
nice
where is this, Hawaii?
No, that's San Francisco.
Okay, so they're obviously working on some sort of weird timeline.
I think it's weird that the uniforms are the Deep Space Nine uniforms.
Well, okay.
That's odd.
But with the inclusion of 7 and 9.
Like, they've progressed a bit, but it's weird.
Alright, who's that?
Some random admiral, it doesn't matter.
But that's probably the head of Starfleet.
Hang on, let me take a good look.
That's all we're getting.
That's not anyone from the show. That's what I can tell you.
But no, but she's clearly, maybe she's the head of Starfleet.
Let me see the pips, I'll tell you. She didn't have we didn't see the pips.
Yeah, it's not a good look. She's super fast. She's fighting, but Borg, and then she disappeared.
What if she's no? The dude got transported out so he wouldn't die. That's what that was.
Oh, is that what that was?
That was like a self-protection device.
Ah, all right.
I think if she's going to be anything, she's going to be
Captain
an android.
Picard Day.
Yeah, that's cute.
All right, so jail, some sort of a jail or a brig. Mm-hmm. But everybody's got Starfleet badges on. I don't know what's going on there.
I know, that's weird. Because those are comm badges. They should just be able to... Boop.
She's a Vulcan, clearly. I don't know who she could possibly be, but she's a Vulcan.
They could
oh,
be...
is that...
They could be Romulans, too.
Oh, so more characters. Wasn't she... someone?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. There's no returning characters in the trailer apart from Picard and
an
7
Asian
and 9
Vulcan who's a samurai.
Yeah.
Another Vulcan.
I think that's a Romulan. I don't think that because they got the forehead ridges.
All right. Okay. And I'm just like,
I do have.
yo, I want to. A few disappointing things. No Will Wheaton. Like, if you're gonna bring this back, you might as well bring back some. You better bring me back some Will Wheaton.
No.
His mom paid a lot of money to get him into Starfleet Academy. How fucking dare you?
I'm sure she did, but no.
How dare you?
He can stay there.
She's a Borg. See? Borg cube. No reason to have a Borg cube unless you got some Borg running around.
So, I had a theory about this when I first watched the trailer. I've since decided it's not the case. But, so, we were talking about, like, rewriting the story and stuff. I think what this is going to be is the chick can communicate with the Borg cube because they'll forget that Picard could do that.
Oh, okay.
Because it's going to be dumb. She's going to know how to communicate. A big Borg cube's coming. It's going to blow up Earth. They need to stop it from blowing up Earth. Section 31 is going to give him, like, a stealth ship or whatever. And it's going to be...
Yeah,
like,
he's obviously in command of something.
And, like, that's the other dumb thing as well. If, like, Picard knew about Section 31, he would have quit Starfleet.
So,
like, straight up.
This was, like, a huge reveal. The inclusion of 7 and 9. And this, to me, screams of when Spock visited Kirk after Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
To talk him back into going back out again. That's what this screams to me. So I don't see her being
a major player,
through character. Plus, 7 and 9 should be dead, and we should at least have 8 and 9.
I will say though,
they should have recast it and made it 8 and 9.
I don't think so
because they were supposed to be 9.
I don't think so. You know why? I'll
the
tell
life cycle.
you why.
They never discussed the life cycle of that creature. If you're not familiar, this character is named 7 and 9. The reason she's called 7 and 9 is she is actually a creature that takes on other sentient bodies for a determined period of time 9 times.
That is not the case.
And then they die. Yes.
That is not the case.
Isn't that the case?
No, 7 of 9 is just her designation as a Borg.
She's not
That's
a
all
Borg.
it is. She is a Borg. She was a Borg. She was assimilated as a child. Her
I'm
and her
tripping.
parents. Yeah, you check it and I'll turn out to be
So
right.
so
she
that-
and
I'm
her
gonna check.
parents traveled to the edge of Federation space because they were fucking stupid.
Well, no, but
and
so-
were trying to investigate the Borg and find out
So
about
clearly
them.
that little girl's
And
a
she
damn
got
Borg.
assimilated and
That little girl's a fucking Borg.
yeah, she is a Borg because this movie's gonna be dumb. Or is it a TV
All right,
show?
fuck
Is
you.
it-
She was bored.
She was a Borg, yeah.
Oh, I thought. Then what character am I thinking about?
Dax. You're thinking
Okay.
about Dax. Who, I will have to say,
But
Dax,
didn't he have
Dax in a new
didn't
body?
he have a certain number of bodies that he was allowed, and that was his life cycle?
No, they can just go on forever.
He was like a slug.
Yeah, there's a slug inside a body.
Oh,
that
so
can
that's what
control-
happened.
yeah.
I'm not that big into it, but
I'm a very big fan.
I have
so.
enough. I have enough information to sound stupid. So clearly, something with the Borg, a younger captain because they just showed that whole thing. And then here's my thing: what if this is more of like Han Solo?
It's gonna be Firefly, Logan, like
yeah. There you go.
space
That's what I'm
westerning.
Firefly.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like they're on an official Starfleet vessel or he's in official Starfleet clothes.
Okay, so
What was
here's my thing with this.
engage?
Here's my thing with this is that there's a really, really cool story.
All right, is that a
Yeah.
Borg?
Probably. Romulans.
Oh,
I saw
that's
some-
certainly a Borg.
I saw some Romulans.
That's most definitely a fuck. That's most definitely a Borg.
Yeah, that's a Borg.
Because
You
of
can see the
forks and
implants.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be a Borg heavy story.
Yeah,
I think
a
it's
very
gonna be,
Borg heavy
but they're going to be
story.
ripping off from Logan quite a bit because that girl's going to have the same sort of thing going on.
Something I think would be interesting, and I don't know if they're going to include it or not. There are a couple of things that lean to that way. Do you remember the 2009 Star Trek movie? I'm about to take you on a deep cut journey. The one with Chris
alright,
Pine and stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so
which it looks like they're going to continue if Quentin decides to fucking
Yeah,
do
it does.
Star Wars, yeah.
That
Or Star
aside,
Trek.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in that movie, a bunch of Romulans come from the future and blow up planet Vulcan
Yeah, all right, I know.
because of in the Prime timeline, the Picard timeline.
I like the Chris Pine movies.
Me too. I think they're
Like-
pretty good, like action
Yeah.
movies. Yeah, for
Like
sure.
they did a lot of good things
But
with
yeah,
the
so
characters.
in the Prime timeline, Romulus was destroyed by a supernova, and the Romulan Empire was like scattered.
Okay.
Okay, and now there are two factions of Romulans. There's the Romulan Republic,
Okay.
who are just the people who want to be free of the Empire, and basically they're open to working with Starfleet and stuff. They're very much more Vulcan-like and friendly and stuff. And then you've got the Tal Shiar, who are like, imagine the CIA became a government, pretty much. And they're at war with each other. And here's the thing: the Tal Shiar would get a hold of the Borg cube, because we saw it being like disassembled.
Oh, and
stuff,
and
they're trying to reverse
engineer.
engineer it. Yeah, see that would
That
be interesting.
okay? How about that? That's something I didn't think of.
And we also get to
someone
see
trying to weaponize Borg technology in secret.
And one Star Trek race we've never really gotten much development for is the Romulans.
Yeah.
So it will be an opportunity, because there's a lot of Romulan stuff in there too, and I think
Another
the Borg stuff
huge
kinda-
reveal.
Fat Data.
Okay, Fat Data. Now, he's playing cards with him, which is something that they did quite frequently in Next Gen, was play games.
He
He's
never
drinking
played
the
cards
tea.
with him until the final moment of the final episode.
But
though.
that's what I mean.
So that's an interesting
So
callback.
there could be holodeck technology.
Oh, there will be, for sure.
So if what we're seeing here is him just replaying that last game as like part of some sort of, we have those scenes of guys watching old movies of them and their families and when their families are dead and shit. If that's what we're seeing, then that's not the same data, and you can't really do that. And people have a problem with Fat Data Face, and so do I.
I do. They
We
should
get
have
Brett
just
Spiner
sprung
got
for them.
old, but
They
yeah,
should have
you
just sprung the
spring
money
for
and
it.
de-aged him,
Which,
for sure.
With the the public opinion on this particular thing, they probably are going to do that. I mean,
Yeah,
the
for
show's
sure.
not on yet.
There's still time.
You can see they even tried to hide it with like lighting, because this
Yeah.
side looks fine.
The other side. does
Yeah,
not.
it's like, but we got to get one side of his fucking face lit, or he gonna look fucking.
He's not going to be in it for a long time, that means.
Yeah, but that's why I'm thinking maybe it's just holodeck bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like when he has a problem, he goes back into that holodeck
And, like, retreats into it and,
and
stuff.
asks his homie about it.
That's a nice idea. I'm
Well,
into that.
we did an hour, man. We did more than an hour. I think this is a good place to at least put a pause on shit before I catch another motherfucking ad.
Sounds
But
good
I like
to me.
this. I like this version.
I like it too.
And if you're listening to this in the audio form on Spotify or whatever, make sure you go over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chuck Reeves Beast Host. I'm going to do some editing to this video and maybe add some funny shit, like when I say dumb stuff, give y'all a little bit of a warning, and then maybe add some extra stuff. But it's a work in fucking progress, as always. But I'm glad to see that
You didn't say anything that dumb.
the thing about the Borg,
I've seen way worse, like, commentary on
Yeah.
YouTube. You're doing okay.
Well, I'm terrible.
You'll get there.
But you know what it is. Chuck Reeves, the beard has spoken. Ryan has spoken. We appreciate you heads hanging out.